From Channel 5 News with Andrew Callahan. Trump inauguration. This guy looks like Jim Sterling, if anybody knows who that is.
The golden age of America has arrived. President Donald J. Trump, number 47 in 43 minutes. Happy days are here
This is the American Jim Sterling right here.
again.
This is We the Sequel, We the People, round 2.
We the sequel.
As we take back our capital, as we take back the country after January 6th and all of those people rotting in jail for no reason. Most of them.
And a lot of people are still rotting in jail for no reason. And they're just not being released. Has anybody seen that? That's crazy.
I'm ready to see gas prices under $1.50. I'm ready to see
Yeah,
the Federal
that's not happening. We ain't getting gas prices that low again. Ever, probably.
Reserve abolished. I'm ready to see Trump buy 1 million Bitcoins for a strategic reserve for us Americans.
I could see that.
I'm ready to see the southern borders secure. I'm ready to see inflation go down to 0. I'm ready for all the...
This guy. I mean, yeah, I'm ready for all that too. None of that's happening.
Jan 6 prisoners, not only to get a pardon, but to get multi-million-dollar payouts in the future.
How many of them are there? Multi-million-dollar payouts. How many of them are there? Like 1,500 or more? That'd be well over $1 billion. You can't... What?
And I'm ready to go to Greenland.
This guy just doesn't understand what's going on. He's like buying into all the memes.
And have a nice hotel stay at a future Trump tower that gets built there. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, you know Greenland is like -30 right now, though.
Well,
True.
Greenland is really cold and icy, and Iceland is really green and nice, right?
Yeah,
No.
Like they named it that.
No, I mean, like originally, sure. Right now, no, they're both icy. They're both covered in ice all the time. Iceland is slightly less ice, way more volcanoes.
To trick the Vikings. So Iceland's the green one. So they were like, the Vikings, they were scared of them, so they were just like, yo, we're going to call Greenland Iceland and reverse it. So that the Vikings got to Greenland and were like, fuck.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm really honestly going to be
Is that
proud
true?
to see...
Is that true? Hold up. Why is Greenland called Greenland and Iceland called Iceland?
According to National Geographic, Schoolyard Wisdom says this was intentional. Iceland's Viking settlers thought the name would discourage oversettlement of their verdant island, while nobody cared if people tried to settle the ice-covered Greenland.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense. I thought that it was just because, I don't know. Different people name them, and people name things differently for weird reasons. Greenland could have been called Greenland because there was a greenhouse there, and somebody was like, well, this is Greenland now. I mean, I didn't know. Now I know.
Our president able to walk and not crap himself in front of the world stage. It's nice to have a president that can speak English without mumbling. It's nice to have a president that the people on the world stage actually respect and maybe fear a little bit. Remember when he did the thing with Rocket Man? People said he was going to start World War III. He's
Rocket
like,
Man.
Rocket Man, I've got the biggest rocket. I got a bigger button. I've got a bigger rocket.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
And everyone said that was going to start
That clip in that moment is so good, man. Huge fan of Trump. Not a supporter, but I am a fan.
World War III. But did it? No, it actually backed off, Rocket Man. And in the end, they ended up shaking hands, which had never been done before. Never been done in the history of the world. And it's that strength that you need when you come into a negotiation. You don't need some guy bumbling, barely able to walk, rolling up in front of the world leaders. They're laughing behind our backs. They're making us look foolish. At least Trump has swagger. He's got Americana, and he's a badass.
I definitely think he's learned a lot.
That Americana thing, that is like very important. What personality did Joe Biden have? What did Joe Biden actually like besides ice cream?
I think, while we definitely didn't want the last 4 years, I think he's benefited from 4 years of just seeing what can happen. And now he's got the right team assembled. He knows how to move things around. And I think we're going to see real meaningful change.
Yeah, I'm ready for Elon to really cut most of the 2 million plus jobs in the federal government.
That's not how that works. Elon's not doing anything. It is only a suggestion. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Doge is only a suggestion, and then other people have to work to do these things. I don't think Doge is actually going to be shutting anything down.
Out of the equation, and I'm ready to
Correct me if I'm wrong down there in the comments. I love being wrong. I love when people correct me so I can be correct.
see over 400 bureaucracies here in the United States that are like a cancer in God's U.S. Republic completely abolished. The IRS needs to be abolished.
I would like to see, say, Department of Education gone. I would like to see ATF gone.
Why do you want the Department of Education shut down?
Before the Department of Education, we were ranked 9th in the world. Or no, we were 7th in the world.
In education.
Yes, in education. After the Department of Education, I think today we are about...
That's not... I mean, yes, I agree. Shut down the Department of Education, but I don't think this guy knows anything about Department of Education and like who have taken over, why they've taken over, what they're pushing onto children. It all started with that stupid Common Core program that they pushed into schools, and well, really, if you want to be real about it, it started with No Child Left Behind. And what that really meant was we're gonna dumb everything down so nobody feels left out. That's what happened. That's what the Department of Education did. Maybe he'll get to that.
14th. No Child Left Behind, drastically dumbed down. The curriculums made it so that
Okay. No Child Left Behind, he mentioned it.
students couldn't fail. And then every time the curriculum is seen to be...
Not only is it that they prevented students from failing, they prevented students from having a hard time and pulled everyone else back.
Graded, the teachers union shut it down.
Interesting. Do you think teachers should be paid more?
No.
Why?
There shouldn't be a public education system.
And I'm ready for
Based. I like that guy.
John Trump to make Bitcoins a legal tender here, like what has happened in El Salvador with Nayib Bukele.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
What's the benefit of having a cryptocurrency
I don't like
reserve?
this guy.
Well, with Bitcoins, we
This guy, he follows everything on X and repeats it. That's what he's doing.
have to adapt to that as Americans. We have to have that, because if we don't, we're going to be very, very far behind of other nations like El Salvador, who's leading the way.
Yeah.
Those people there.
I guess it's just important to have market regulation when it comes to, Bitcoin because of pump and dump schemes. Like, did you see the Haktua coin?
Right, that's a huge problem. We have Bitcoins, they're incredible, and then we have all the scam coins out there. And there are so many altcoins that are just wreaking havoc.
Yeah, because it's
Life
hard.
after life after life.
It's hard because you want to have a free market, but then the crypto world is just so full of scams. It's like you need some element of regulation.
Right, there needs to be...
Don't be an idiot. Don't buy scam coins. If you want my advice, don't buy any of them.
some type of thing put in, and hopefully Trump can get it done.
What do you think about this upcoming presidency, bro?
I'm actually Cuban. I was born in Cuba. I came in 2011. First terms for Trump, didn't really agree with him. Didn't really agree with the way that he spoke about immigrants, especially I was not citizen yet. I didn't think about voting on the second term, but something happened. And I saw that Biden took like such a comfortable back seat during July 6th back in Cuba. I don't know if you've heard about the situation.
I haven't.
So I think it was 2022.
Breaking news right here. I haven't heard about this.
2022. There was a massive revolt all around the island. All the cities were taking to the streets.
Oh wait,
protesting
yeah,
that they
no,
were
I remember this. I remember this now. Okay.
sick and tired. There's no food. There's no power. The government basically hoards all the resources, and instead of distributing them like they're supposed to, communism, they give it to like the people that were close with them, the agents.
Like Venezuela.
Like Venezuela, exactly, same thing. It was violent. The police were, there are videos of police breaking into like the house of one of the organization leaders. They shot him right in front of the family. You can see like the blood running. It's really sad. I was crying throughout that entire place. Like it was tragic.
And how did Biden respond to the July?
Yeah, that was a sticky, hairy, gross situation that was basically flamed on by our government.
6 events.
He didn't do anything. He basically said we're not gonna touch anything revolving around Cuba. We're gonna leave them to their devices. And there's a group of Cubans that today are gonna be having a protest in front of the White House to basically encourage Trump to look at that situation and
Let's do it. Trump needs to take a look at the world, especially people around us. The people who are around us need to get on board with us. Stop like pushing them to the side and like making them watch while they fall apart and get hit by natural disasters.
try to do something, try to help. And fair.
How long?
I understand Puerto Rico and Cuba are different. I was just they're close.
Take you to achieve citizenship?
Well, for me, it was around 6-7 years. It's not hard. You just gotta know history, learn the history. They literally give you a booklet with the answers. Jesus.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Can you tell me about your sign?
Man, I have so much respect to Andrew Callahan. He is freezing. You can tell that he is freezing. But he's doing this anyway. Respect.
Sure. So mine says protect trans kids. There's a lot of discourse about trans people right now. All of the talking points being made are word for word identical to what they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago about gay people.
It's like we have
Yanny or Laurel, everyone. Yanny or Laurel. This is what I want to see at protests. This is the perfect protest sign. Yanny or Laurel.
To what they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago about gay people.
it's like we have mutants living among us on planet Earth.
I think if kids want to change their name, explore gender identity, do whatever the fuck they want, that's fine.
Nope. Adults, yes. Kids, no.
If they at some point want to do something medical about it, then they can have an informed conversation with a parent and or medical professional.
And what threat do you think the next 4 years pose to that?
I mean, Trump said he's going to sign an executive order on day one saying that there are two genders. So there's a pretty imminent threat of getting kicked out of the military, losing gender inclusive care. People are going to die from this, and that's really shitty.
Transgender students in sports became a top issue on the 2024 campaign trail and now a top priority of House Republicans in the new Congress.
The only time that the general public started caring about trans people in women's sports was when they started winning. Like Leah Thomas isn't even, she's a good swimmer. She's not the best.
Yeah.
There's no epidemic of men going into women's sports and sweeping competition. Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
This guy's a moron, and he doesn't pay attention, because that was 100% happening. And I just look it up. I'm not going to bring it up, but look it up. That's not my job to do. I'm just reacting.
And also being on estrogen long term actually like weakens your physical abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does. But not down to the natural woman.
And medical transition is often necessary to compete in women's sports for trans people. So like,
hatred has won, and that is depressing. I cried on election day. I know so many other women who cried on election day. This means that so many people have to go into hiding, can't be themselves. People are, like Grant said, people are gonna die.
You can't be tough on crime and elect a felon. Okay, let's go and arrest everyone, literally everyone. If everyone's a felon, then nobody can do anything. Let's just make people felons for no reason. That's what happened to Trump. They made him a felon because they didn't like him. They made up laws to make him a felon.
People are, it's just, I'm legitimately terrified for my immigrant friends. I stay awake at night thinking about them, thinking about trans people.
If you have immigrant friends, you're a fucking traitor.
Whether or not you think that gay people should exist, trans people should exist, immigrants should be here or not.
Illegal immigrants, I should say. Illegal immigrants.
I hope we can all come together and understand is that humans are humans. Maybe they did commit a crime. Maybe they do something that you don't agree with. They are still people.
If they commit a crime, for one, they shouldn't fucking be here. But if they commit a crime, they should be locked up. Gone, off the streets.
The mass deportations of immigrants
Hey, Biden supported the Vietnam War and killed a lot
The
of
mass
people in
deportation
Vietnam.
of immigrants is
What the hell?
going to kill.
Bro, this guy is a piece of shit. This guy and those two other people that were talking before, all four of them, pieces of shit.
People.
Right?
Yeah, Biden's shit.
Okay, great.
What are your thoughts on the whole like mass deportation issue?
Mass deportation. My wife is Mexican. Like I said, I live by the border. I love the Mexican people.
fucking
There's
love
a
this
lot of
guy.
good people. We definitely start at the top, meaning the worst, and work our way down. You know, necessarily not so many, all these little, people with their families or people second generation, this and that. Let's not get too carried away. We'll start with the worst and we'll work our way down. When you got murders and rapists in San Diego County, we have not just a sanctuary city, we have a super sanctuary city where not only can you not tell ICE if there's a problem with an illegal alien, you can't tell them even if they committed armed robbery or rape. They're like, no, what about the
This guy reminds me of the mountaintop guy in 2012, the movie 2012. Wasn't that Woody Harrelson though?
poor rapists and armed robbery? We can't send them back. We can't tell ICE.
We will not allow our local resources to be used for actions that separate families.
So they don't want to use the resources, which is what they calling ICE, just because they want to protect illegal aliens. I think the people that are doing these laws are actually paid off by the cartel. It's a crazy conspiracy. I know. It's one thing having...
I don't think they're being paid off by the cartel. I think they're being paid off by multinational corporations who are involved with the cartel and who are involved with Ukraine and who are involved in the Middle East. That's what's happening.
Immigration, but when you just have a total open border, and then when they come in, they get free health care, they get free cell phones, they get free hotels when our homeless people are living on the streets. I mean, come on, people. We got to do this legally, right?
We need to have a
True.
very solid immigration policy so we keep attracting the best talents across the world to this land to build it up, build the economy, build companies, hire employee people, I pay tax, and I want my tax to benefit my neighbors, my country, and my children, and my neighborhood, my community, right? I don't want other countries to take advantage of United States people.
Scientology is a cult. Thank you.
Are you a Scientologist?
Nope.
Do you think
women and children.
do you think that we're Scientologists?
Nope. Just getting the message out. That's all.
Okay, what's the worst thing Scientology's done?
They use
These people at these inauguration rallies, or not rallies, protests and stuff, all these people that go to these political protests, they're all insane. That's why you never see regular people going to these protests unless they're reporters. Because everybody here is insane.
children for auditing. So 8, 9, 10-year-olds are asking grown men about masturbation and anal sex.
That's not good. Do you feel like
hashtag save the children?
Are you hoping for like exoneration for the January 6th people?
I am indeed. In fact, I was down there at the vigil for the J6ers down on Freedom Corner with Mickey Withoff, who is Ashley Babbitt's mother. In fact, I have Ashley Babbitt's ashes in this necklace right here. I made this necklace with Ashley Babbitt's ashes. I made it for her and her husband.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old...
That's true. That's cool. That's cool if that's true, that's an actual thing.
Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
And I was down there and I was told that the word on the street is the guards were told to stay late tonight to help release the prisoners.
Are they being held in D.C. right now?
Oh, yeah. They're not far from...
And they're still being held. A lot of them got out, but there's a lot they're refusing to let out. And, they better make sure that everybody knows they're okay, or there's going to be hell to pay. And they better be okay. Oh, God. Could you imagine if the people that aren't being released because they're not there anymore? Or they're injured severely?
From here, a few miles down the street.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. Any message to the American people before we go?
You should go watch his movie. This guy makes some great documentaries. I went to his premiere. It was freaking awesome. Thanks, brother.
I appreciate you, Matt. Thanks, Doc. Have a good one.
If you missed it, just 5 days ago, we dropped our first ever independent film called Dear Kelly, a project that's being received quite well across the political spectrum. It explores the life, backstory, and beliefs of a man named Kelly J. Patriot, who I met at a White Lives Matter rally in 2021.
Kobe Bryant was assassinated by the Clintons.
The film was shot over the course of 3.5 years, documenting Kelly's radicalization, his quest for revenge against a private lender, and his family's attempts to pull him out of the rabbit hole and put family first. The film is currently being self-hosted and privately distributed at www.dailycake.com. dearkellyfilm.com for the low rental cost of $5.55. So if you want to support us and see the movie, head on over. All right, back to the streets of DC.
That sounds very interesting, actually. I might check that out.
Oh yeah, we are surrounded by ancient pagan symbols, from the obelisk there, which may be the biggest obelisk in the world, to the dome there of Isis, the ever-pregnant womb of Isis, in the occult mindset. That's what that is. With the apotheosis.
This guy's insane. He might be onto something, though. I don't know. I don't know nothing about the occult. Maybe he does. He looks like he might know a thing or two about the occult. He looks like he goes into deep dives down some rabbit holes on YouTube.
Of George Washington, which is that mural inside the dome, which represents that Masonic future that so many Masons are into having, where they ascend as a god into some type of paradise. It's not from the Bible, and I'm totally against all that. I'm standing here for Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Lord of the heavens and the earth.
Wait, I'm a bit confused.
Never mind. I like this guy. I like this guy.
For Jesus Christ. However, the pagan symbology is also important.
Well, it's not important to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the plan that was put in place to build Washington, D.C. was a plan, in fact, to honor the ancient gods. And the plan.
I could have a conversation with this guy. I think he's a moron, but he's on to something.
Plan was not to honor Jesus.
I also think I'm a moron, by the way. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than that and than any of these people or any people ever. I think I'm just as dumb as everybody, and there may be some people dumber than me, but I don't think that I'm really smarter than anybody.
Jesus Christ, the people who designed this place, the main people, were into it to honor their Masonic god, who is Satan, recorded in the King James Version Bible.
True, that is so based. Have you ever read the Masonic Bible? That shit is Satanism.
Who do you think was controlling?
No, like they get into blood oaths and stuff like that. That is straight like satanic rituals happening.
Biden behind the scenes.
Obama was definitely a key player, but again, in my research, Obama is more like a manager in Satan's hierarchy. He's got the World Economic Forum, he's got the UN, he's got King Charles and the monarchy, Satan. He's got so many different groups that have extreme amounts of power compared to me.
Yeah. Do you think that there's kind of like a second deep state forming around Trump?
Well, just protect Trump from having that happen, God. Please help him not to make the same mistakes that he made when he was 43rd president of the United States, God.
And where do you get most of your news and information from?
X, not just Infowars.com without.
How did I guess? And of course, Infowars. Of course. How did I know? I could read it on his face and what he's wearing.
Alex Jones.
Did you use X back when it was in control of Jack Dorsey?
Well, I did, and I got suspended multiple times.
True,
Was
same.
that kind of a wake-up call for you, just having your account taken down multiple times?
I was really aware of that type of thing back in 2013 when I started listening to Alex Jones. He started to wake me up to how things really work in a general way. How we're in a war, and there's a group called the Globalists, and they want to depopulate the Earth, and they want to get it down to under 500 million people.
Yeah.
And they want to bring in their new world order system, their technotronic state where you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. It's right there.
True. True. And I think it's eventually going to happen. And they want it.
In the book of Revelation, the King James Version Bible. I mean, we may live in that time. We may go through it.
I don't know. King James. It says it in all the Bibles.
I'm ready to die for Jesus. I'm never taking the mark of the beast no matter what.
What's the mark of the beast?
It could be a microchip in your hand, this one, your right one, or your left one, and then maybe it's some type of Neuralink chip in your head.
Yeah.
Or maybe something more.
I don't think so. I think it's legitimately just straight up going to be a mark that does nothing except for be a mark. And if you don't, it's like in Idiocracy. Where's your tattoo? Why you don't have tattoo? Red alert! You know, that's what it's going to be. I don't think that they're actually going to be mass implementing these chips into everybody. I think it is just going to be like a tattoo.
More advanced than that. Yeah. Some people have said the nanoparticulates, or however you say it, in those bioweapon shots from Big Pharma are some type of mark of the beast thing. But I don't know.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate you. And our show's called Channel 5. Be sure to check it out, man. Appreciate you, dude.
You're awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome, too.
Thank God for his life.
Yeah, man.
I love you.
You too.
That guy's based though, even though he's kind of an idiot. But I'm an idiot too.
Fuck the authority. Channel 5 News.
Channel 55.
True.
We don't fuck with custers, and 5 is the best number.
I love Channel 5. I love watching these videos because he gets everybody, man. He has no opinion really. Sometimes he does, but usually he has no opinion whenever he's doing these reports, and I love that. I love that he just gets everybody. He gets the left and the right and asks questions that force these people to say things that I want to hear from them. Not things that I want to hear necessarily, but hear from them, because like I want to know what their politics are, and if they believe any crazy nonsense like, oh, men in women's sports, they're not taking over. That is crazy. Yes, they were. They 100% were. They were like regular dudes getting into competitions and winning them and setting records that weren't even trans, but they were pretending to be trans to make a point, and I agree with that. I'm glad Trump got elected. I hope that we can go back to being somewhat normal. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think leftists are going to go even more insane than ever.